Next, we will move on to a very important topic, that is System Development Life Cycle, SDLC. System Development Life Cycle is also known as Project Development Life Cycle. The System Development Life Cycle, another name can be Application Development Life Cycle. It is a term used in systems engineering or information systems and also software engineering to describe a process for planning, creating, testing and deploying an information system. So that is a cycle which describes the process for planning, creating, testing and deploying an information system. There are 6 phases in every software development life cycle. 6 phases are requirement gathering and analysis, design, implementation or coding, testing, deployment and maintenance. These are the 6 phases of SDLC. First one is requirement gathering and analysis. Business requirements are gathered in this phase. What are the requirements needed by the company? The information is gathered in this phase. This phase is the main focus of the project managers and stakeholders. The meetings with managers, stakeholders and users are held in order to determine the requirements like who is going to use the system, how will they use the system, what data should be put into the system, etc. Second step in cycle is design step. In this phase, the system and software design is prepared from the requirement specifications which were studied in the first phase. System design helps in specifying hardware and system requirements and also helps in defining overall system architecture. So in this phase, in the design phase, they will develop an architecture for the system, or they will develop a blueprint for the system. The system design specifications serve as input for the next phase. The third phase is implementation phase or coding phase. On receiving the system design documents, the work is divided into modules or units and actual coding is started. Since in this phase the code is produced, so it is the main focus for the developer. So software developer will work in this phase. This is the longest phase of the software development life cycle. Coding phase is the longest phase. Fourth phase is testing phase. After the code is developed, it is tested against the requirements to make sure that the product is actually solving the needs addressed and gathered during the requirement phase. So in this phase, they will test whether the product is solving all the problems or it is meeting all the requirements gathered during the requirements phase. That is the first phase. Fifth phase is deployment phase. After successful testing, the product is delivered or deployed to the customer for their use. Last phase is maintenance phase. Once when the customer starts using the developed system, then the actual problems comes up and needs to be solved from time to time. This process where the care is taken for the developed product is known as maintenance phase. So these are the phases.